All right, praise the Lord, Pastor Steve Sterling from the Dallas Revival Center, and just bearing down on the last part of the month of March, and we've got some interesting concepts and things we wanted to share with you. Kind of gloss over some things that might help you, assist you, aid you, and propel you into prosperity. And we pick up our Bible and we read it at Genesis 39, verse 2 to 6. We've got some things we want to point out here. It said the Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered. The Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered. So one of the key ingredients to prosperity, true prosperity, that's letting God make you rich without any toil and spoil, is that Joseph had God in his corner, on his side, working with him in the things that he did on a daily basis. The Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered, and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. So he was a servant and subservient to an Egyptian, an unsaved person, and one that worshipped idolatry, and one that did not serve the living God. But yet, when God's with you, it doesn't matter what your situation of life is, whatever the circumstances may be, God can fledge through and move through all the obstacles and get you to prosper. We must realize that no matter what the situation in life is that is in front of us. And when his master saw that the Lord was with him and that the Lord gave him success in everything he did. So his master could see that there was something different about him. It says here that the master saw that the Lord was with him. So there was something about the way that Joseph operated, in the way that he worked, and the way that he went about his daily business, that stuck out more so than anyone else of the servants in the household of the Egyptian. And so it says here, and when his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord gave him success in everything he did. So we must realize that prosperity is to the point where no matter what we do, in everything we do, there's an enhancement, there is an enrichment, there is a blessing, there is an area of success and an area of dominion and in an area of victory, no matter what area that we're delving in or dealing with in life. God is right there bringing success in everything that we do. In verse 4, it says, and Joseph had found favor in his eyes and became his attendant. So as the Egyptian master saw the Lord was working with Joseph, he was able to, Joseph was able to gain favor because he was unique, he was different, he was marked. It was something that was extraordinary, out of the ordinary with this man, Joseph. And it says here, Potiphar put him in charge of his household and entrusted him to care for everything that he owned. Look at that. The favor and the wisdom and the success and the things that Joseph was bringing brought him to the point where Potiphar put him in charge of his whole house. and entrusted him with the care of everything that he owned. So the trust factor moved here, and the Egyptian not only saw the prosperity side, but he saw the moral side, the side where the trust, the place where he could put his confidence in man like this. Um, and this is where things really escalate and move in our lives when we get that kind of movement in our lives where the trust, the assurance, the know-how, the ethicalness of ourselves shines and shows forth, that breeds such confidence that will allow us to have favor, which will put us in charge and make us the head and not the tail, above only and not beneath. As a matter of fact, it said in verse 6, so um, Potiphar left everything that he had in Joseph's care. With Joseph in charge, he did not concern himself with anything except the food he ate. And it says now Joseph was well built and handsome. Joseph basically ran everything in Potiphar's life, except for the very food that he chose to eat. You talk about an outstanding, prosperous journey, pilgrimage, about how things can work out and wealth out and health out and bless out and be buoyant and be tremendous and really anchor a person to give them a vaulted success. It's this is the stuff that we're talking about when we talk about yielding and governing in God's prosperity. God rules over every situation. He begins to rule over every circumstance. He begins to rule over the assets. He begins to rule over everything. And God takes assumption, control, and precedent. And God allows one to climb up the ladder and to really be effective in the life of those that he deals or she deals with. And we need to bear this in mind, that prosperity is really expansive and inexhaustive. It just moves into every crevice and corner, and cranny of life that we have to deal with. And it's so encouraging to see the vital synapse and the culture and the amazing social aspects and the physical realm that blends and bleeds over into a person's life as God sets his hand on a person. The Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered. And that was our second verse there in Genesis 39:2. And so realize that prosperity is so much more than just tangible assets. It moves into the very culture, the very social, and um, the very every aspect of a person's life, and brings exaltation and brings them favor and brings them trust and puts a person in trustworthiness of those that they're around. I hope this was encouraging to you. The Lord bless you and keep you and watch over you, take care of you in all of your ways, and bless you in staggering ways, in astounding ways, in phenomenal ways. In Jesus' mighty name. Bye-bye for now.